So as you guys may have saw in the last video or on my social media accounts, this is my 2005 Ford F-250 6-liter Powerstroke. And you guys are probably wondering, why is the body panels and everything mismatched and not looking right? So I'm going to explain that now, and the whole entire reason why everything is mismatched and not centered and not looking okay is that I actually got into an accident with this thing about 9 months ago, something like that now, and completely totaled out the front end. But it's slowly getting there. I have a new fender on the way because with these wheels and tires it rubs, so it decided to crinkle the fender all along through here and do a whole bunch of weird stuff. And so in today's video, we are going to be tearing down the entire front end of this truck along with some of the motor components to get my oil leak fixed, my exhaust leak fixed, and replace the glow plugs. So before we start working on the truck, I'm going to show you guys some of the major flaws that it has right now from the accident. So if we hop up here, as you guys may notice, this hood is supposed to be white, and it is the coal soot black, and that is because the up pipe back in here is leaking from the clamp. So I have brand new clamps, and I'm gonna pull the turbo. I'm gonna pull all this because I have to do valve cover gaskets, glow plugs, the whole 9 yards with this thing. We also have to get a radiator fan shroud. We got to get the HVAC system put back in. We got to fix the battery terminals because that's not okay. We got to rewire the rock lights, get new ones. My plan in the future is to get wheel lights and rock lights. I found a good set of wheel lights that are cheap. So when I install those and do the video on those, I'll have those down in the description. But for now, we're going to focus on the motor and what all needs to get done with the motor. So let's get started on tearing this motor apart. First things first is we're going to jack up the truck and get the wheels and tires off the ground and set it on jack stands. And that is because we are going to be pulling the wheel liners so that we can get to the glow plugs and everything underneath there. So I'm going to cut to when the truck's jacked up and the wheels are taken off. All right, update time. So this is why I hate being my own fucking mechanic, because we don't have a fucking impact, and it bent the bar and also stripped it out. So now every time I try and put it on, you see how loose that shit is. Looser than my fucking ex-girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? So, okay, now I have to figure out how to get an impact and how to get it, like, right now. So I'll cut back to when I find an impact. All right, guys, so it is actually the next day now, and I went and talked to my old boss, and I got the impact right there. So shout out to him for giving me the impact and let me use it for a couple hours so I can get the wheels and tires off. But now we're gonna go back to the house and we're gonna get the wheels and tires off and start pulling apart the motor. But before I pull apart the motor, I'm gonna do a cold start for you guys and tell you guys a little about what's actually done to the truck. So as you guys have just seen, the truck is not very happy with me because she's a little cold. But we're gonna start removing the inner wheel liners and gaining access to the side of the block so that we can do the glow plugs. And I found that this is actually the easiest way to replace these glow plugs, because I've done the glow plugs on this truck now twice. And so after doing OEM glow plugs every single time, I have decided to upgrade them to I think it's diesel RX glow plugs. So I'll give a review on those and see how they do and see how they hold up. But let's start taking these inner fender liners out. So as you guys just saw, I pulled the bolts out of this side and I got the driver's side out. But under the engine bay, I was taking off the terminals for the rock lights that I just have on there for now, because I don't really feel like wiring it properly yet, since I'm doing all the motor work to it. And so I have 2 rock lights in the grill. I have 1 working rock light here, 1 working rock light back there, and then the whole driver's side still works. But that's just how I have it wired in so far. But I had to take them out, and now I'm going to disconnect these so that this is a free wire and that I can just drop the whole thing and not have to cut any of this. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll see you guys when we have the fender liner pulled out. So I want to show you kind of more in depth what I'm talking about with all the oil leaks and everything. So I got quoted at a shop about $900 to do the glow plugs, and that wasn't even just like, that wasn't even replacing the actual glow plugs themselves. That was just the wiring harness for it. So I was like, hell no. So I ordered all that. I ordered brand new glow plugs, and as you guys can see too, I'll show you guys the other side, but I believe it's also leaking from the valve cover gaskets, because that, if it'll focus, that is just bad. So as you guys can see down here, just from it sitting, there's a couple spots, but fuck, I'll come and show you guys the other side. It's pretty bad. I have to add oil in the damn truck. Every time I take the truck out, I have to add oil to it. So yeah, but this is the driver's side, and as you guys can see, it is just, oh god awful in there. So we're gonna take care of that, but in the meantime, while we're waiting on parts and everything to get in, we're gonna start tearing down the motor, getting the airbox out of the way, getting the degas bottle out of the way, getting the batteries out of the way, getting the intercooler piping out of the way, getting everything out of the way, so that we can start fully rebuilding the top end of the motor and getting this thing back into tip-top shape motor-wise. And then once everything is done motor-wise and I get this thing registered and street legal, then we can start worrying about like paint and everything else. I already have plans for wheel lights, rock lights, cowl hood. So this thing's gonna turn out great, but there's just some things that we have to work on first. So without further ado, let's start tearing down this motor. fickum isn't even bolted down. Huh? It was when I got it running. Huh. Alright, so that would explain my low boost. The EBP sensor's not even plugged in. And the connector's melted, so I can't even plug it back in. Alright guys, so I've made a pretty big discovery on one of my biggest issues with this thing, and that is having low boost at low RPM. So this is the EBP sensor plug, or the pigtail for it. And as you guys can see, if it'll focus, it's all corroded, and on the side it's all melted there. And if we come down in here, that is the EBP sensor, and it's not even plugged in. So I have a new one ordered and it's on the way, but I'm gonna rip the braided line out here and clean all that. I probably won't clean the actual sensor itself, but I'll clean the line and the fitting down there, and see if that helps whenever we put this thing back together. But we are making headway, as you guys just saw. She is pushing coolant, but the only reason for that is because the cap's bad, and that's ordered. It's already here. So I just got to replace that whenever we go for a startup. At least I hope. Heck yes. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. But anyways, guys, so we got the air box pulled out. We have the coolant reservoir removed. We have the fickum pulled out. We have the intercooler piping out. So now all we need to do is wait on the glow plug stuff to come in. And for the passenger side, all we have to do is just pull the glow plug module and the ICP sensor, and then some of these coolant lines and whatever else. And then we can get the valve covers off, get the valve cover gaskets changed, helicoil the bolts, and then we should be good to go on that. And then we can pull the turbo, get the turbo out, clean that, pull it apart, clean that, and then work on getting the up pipe clamp situated or figured out. I don't know, because this is going to be hard with the tripod acting up. Oh.
There's no way.
I just dropped my phone, but anyways, if you guys can see down in there, you can actually see right where it is leaking from. So I have new clamps and everything for that, so I'm hoping it's just the clamp and not the actual up pipe itself, because that would really suck. But I'm finding out more issues with this thing, which I'm glad that I am doing this, because to be honest, it ran like complete dog shit before. So I'm glad we're figuring out all the problems and getting this thing back to 100%. All right, guys, so you might notice a difference in the audio quality, and that's because I picked up a little microphone. The only thing I don't like about it is that I have to take my phone case off to use it, but I think it's pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think about the audio quality. But right now, I'll show you guys here. We are going to start pulling apart the valve covers and tearing them down and getting ready to put in the new gaskets and everything.
Bro, damn.
All right, so I have the old gasket out, and I think I found the reason why it was leaking. So the entire gasket on the bottom side is like this, but this is the one spot where it's the worst. The actual gasket itself split into two pieces, and it's all, well, there it goes. But you guys saw it's all like chewed up and stuff like that. So we're actually using the Mali kit, and I bought the kit for the rocker box too, because I didn't know if it was leaking from the rocker box or the valve covers itself. But it is just the valve covers. So we're gonna get the new gasket in place, and then we're gonna start pulling the driver's side, do that gasket, and then we can get ready for glow plugs tomorrow in the morning.
Where's your mom? Where is your family?